Hello, good evening, happy Sunday. Hope your weekend has been good. I hope that to whatever level people have been celebrating, either with mothers in their homes or with their own mothers, you've had a lovely Mother's Day. Football itself is a shit sport though, so let's not talk about that. As we enter game week 22 of season 15 of the Super League, live chat is always available on YouTube and on X. Please do get involved in the discussion, not just on the games, not just with the predictions, but throw anything you like. For example, were Liverpool denied a second penalty? Are Spurs, or were Spurs that good, or were Villa just that poor? And any other football-related matters, really. If you want to talk about Rochdale, if you want to talk about how shit Swindon are, or if you want to just talk about the pictures of me and Smuts playing foot golf earlier and the fact that all 6 foot 120-something stone of me landed very hard in a wet puddle. All of it is available for discussion and debate as we play everyone's favourite nostalgic fantasy football game. Good evening to those who've got in the chat nice and early. Very happy to welcome you here, as well as the man who was snuck into the lobby while the title credits were being played. He failed to materialise last time. He said he was on comms, but he's made it this evening. Good evening, Iain. How are you?
How you doing, Fyfie?
Not bad, mate. How's things up north?
Oh, not too bad, mate. I bet you play technical fucking difficulties as you would expect from me.
Shock.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. It's a fucking mega shot. By phone fucked on an iPhone. Fucking can't work them. Hate them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of an iPhone personally, mate.
It's you get used to using Android then, and boom, iPhone. I fucking hate them. But I'm here, mate. Here just I'm okay. Just I have to say this season is super exciting. It really is. It's been good.
I could tell how much it's taken out of you, mate. I mean, your hair is wild this evening. It's all over the place.
I've actually just been at a jog, believe it or not, Fyfie.
Nice, good lad.
I've been a bit of keep fit drive, so I jogged to the shop and back. But no, I'm doing a wee bit trying to keep fit, so that's what I was. And
good lad. I went for my first run in a year yesterday. I did a whole 1K.
Well, mate, it's good for you. I mean, especially at my age, I'm getting a bit midlife crisis, so And then you look at the likes of Alf, who's fucking absolutely fucking bossing it in his late 70s. So it's just, got to look after the body.
I'm not entirely sure Levi Roots Caribbean Crush is the best thing to be drinking at gone 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, but fuck it, you only live once.
Let's jam on the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Ugh.
That's me, mate.
Zero sugar? Not for me, that. Thanks, mate.
No, teeth. We've not got great teeth up in Scotland.
It's all that iron brew and tea cakes, mate.
Well, that's it, mate. Too much sugar for me. Like, I know the crack cocaine and whatever else. Doesn't lead you believe I'm into. So, but apart from that, all good.
Well, let's have a little look at what's going on in the league. You said how exciting it is. Vikings have been perilous at times this season, but aside from that, we've got 5 games left of the regular season, and there's only a 7-point gap between 7th and 2nd.
There is, mate. It's tight as the proverbial nuns. Nether regions, but no, historically you always got a couple of teams at the top that pull away. That's definitely Vikings. Badgers have been a bit iffy, but no, Vikings are looking fucking nailed on for the grand final. But as you say, I can barely see this, but no, it really is so tight. And again, historically, there'll be one team that falls away for the playoffs. I have to say, it's looking a wee bit fucking dodgy for us at the minute. Our results have taken a bit of a nosedive, so we're a wee bit concerned there. But that aside, I mean, there's a couple of new guys started fucking fantastic level, newish kind of for Savage, but he's had a great season. And my early nomination for manager of the year will be Ross at Stackington. I think he's done a fantastic job. After an iffy start, he's stuck to his guns, and honestly, it's fucking. You would even go, I mean, Sloss are absolutely no at Stackington, as I say. Foss Road, if he would fucking take one game seriously and stop playing fucking stupid players and stuff, he's in with a massive chance. And Dudley, again, it's just so tight, mate. It's really going to be a good end to the season.
No, absolutely. And I still realistically think anyone currently shown on that page, so anyone between 1st and 12th can still finish in the playoffs. I mean, as we say, we've only got 5 game weeks left. What I'll do is I'll just quickly go through the fixtures, and we can sort of highlight yours before we go on. So you've got a very tough-looking game at home to Burn tonight. If we go into the next round of fixtures, Coast away at Burn stands out, obviously. You've got a very, potential on paper, a very difficult game away at Sloths, who can really turn it on when they want to. Then we go into the third of the 5 remaining games. You're at home to Fulchester. You'd have to feel 3 points is a must there. But Macca is wily, and even though he's second bottom, that Fulchester team is stacked. And if they turn it on, anything could happen. Looking through the rest of the games that week, I'm really liking the look of the Stanley Badgers game. And also Sancte Dudley. If Dudley get a couple of results in the next couple of games, that could be tasty as well. Penultimate round of fixtures, you're away at Dudley Hill. Just looking at what else is going on that day. Again, Sloths Exiles could be a very important game. And then final week of the season, you're at home to Foss Road, who, depending on how results go for both teams, it could be a winner-take-all game in theory, that.
Mate, as I say, every game's tasty. Just by being that close, Fyfie, mate, there's not really any fucking dead rubbers type games. I mean, it's that close, and nobody wants to finish bottom, so you can say what you like about fucking guys wanting to try and that, but nobody wants to finish bottom, so rest assured Macca will be maybe not fully fucking committed as he once was, but he'll definitely be making sure he gets a team in, and he'll maybe want to finish bottom. We've got a few tasty ones. I mean, again, I like to try and have things sewn up sooner rather than later. You know what I mean?
I think this is going all the way to the wire for a number of teams.
Well, that's it, man. It's fucking horrible, I have to say. I've been on the wrong end of a couple of last day fucking goal difference stingers. So no, you want to try and have things wrapped up. But listen, teams hitting form at the right time. I seen anything for Duggan earlier about the way his season normally pan out. And again, now's the time to be hitting a good bit of form. And there is a few teams that are looking good. And on the flip side, there's a few teams not so good. Our forms, as I say, fucking nosedive. Duggan was 4 losses on the spin, I think I seen him say. So it really is getting tasty, mate. But we need to be looking. And funnily enough, our away form, I don't know if whether this rings true or not, but it seems to be better than our home form. Maybe I'm imagining it, but certainly our away forms in my head seems to be a bit more better than our home.
Well, yeah, you're currently second in the away table.
Right, as I say, and for us it's normally the other way about. But what also I was going to say, that the formation that we used last season, the 3DM, sometimes formations work, Fyfie, but you can find it the next again season it didn't work, and so you've got to try and evolve. I mean that's a conundrum again. I would say, but Duggan's about the only person I've seen on Twitter recently. But he was saying about the whole managerial conundrum thing. Have you got to fucking stick or have you got to twist? And if you do twist, knowing when to twist and stuff. And again, I know an ex-Super League legend, fucking Hodgie, used to say that it was all luck and stuff. But there is an element of fucking skill involved. So I think that. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I know that perhaps because the device you're on, it's not the biggest view of the screen, but you were saying how your away form's better than your home, and I said you were second. You're rock bottom of the home form.
Was that right? As honestly, mate, I'm on this iPhone. I can barely see as I'm covering one eye and stuff. Is that so? To be a rock bottom of the home form.
Yeah. So you're played 10, won 3, drawn 1, lost 6.
Wow, I didn't realise that, mate. I knew that's fucking crazy. That's insane, actually, mate. That's taking me aback somewhat. How many home? And I bet we've got more home games than away games. That's a scary stat.
Well, yeah, 3 of your 5 remaining ones are at home.
Well, that's no good for us, Fyfie.
No, it certainly isn't.
That's just giving me a wee reality check there. We need to be picking up points. And tonight we've got fucking horrific injuries and suspensions, so it's not looking great for us, I have to say. And that's just fucking really that's compounding me. You might find that my transmission cuts off and I have to go away and cry in a dark room after that one, mate. That was fucking bad.
Well, I think you'll find there's a recurring theme tonight. There's a few teams missing a few key players. Just before we do, thank you to virtually all the managers. I asked to hopefully start planning for next season now that we had an agreed way forward. And I've heard from all bar one now, I think. So the planning is in place now for next season, and then once I've got confirmation on the last manager, we'll know exactly how many new ones we are looking for, and we can look to get that sorted. But that is for then. This is now. Let's kick off, and we are kicking off with that huge 6-pointer at the bottom of the table, Iain. So we got LSK, rock bottom, 15 points, playing Fulchester, who are 3 points above them, both in negative equity. In terms of goal difference, obviously. This could be, I mentioned earlier about there are some games in that top 6 run that are winner take all. This really could be winner doesn't finish bottom.
Well, it's maybe a bit early for that, Fyfie, but no, certainly it would give either of the managers a huge fucking confidence boost. And I think Jamie's. In my mind, they've not been as bad as what they were. They're on a fucking horrific run of form earlier in the season, but they've proven that it's a good squad when you look at it. When you strip it all back, it's a good squad. He's a good manager, so he is going to fucking get results. I mean, it's just finding that wee formula, whether this formation that he's going with here he can stick with for the long run. I don't know. As I say, I'm struggling to find it. But when you've got Barthez in goal, it's fucking massive for him. I mean, he can win you a game and he's going to pick you up points. So, I mean, if he can just get his front 2 clicking, whether that's fucking Del Piero and Pizarro. I like Pizarro. Del Piero for me is an AMC. That's one thing I would say. But again, only his squad's good, mate. I don't know if Jamie's hanging around next season, but he's certainly, as I say, if you could just get that one wee bit of luck and that one wee player to kick things off, I mean, he's more than capable of doing it. He's not one who got to finish bottom. Maka, if Maka gets beat here, you might find he goes in a bit of a huff, but again, he's not going to want to finish bottom. I know that for a fact.
No. I mean, he's already confirmed he's going out this season. I don't think he's also confirmed that he's not reversing his decision to leave. So we know he's going out. He's not going to want to go out finishing bottom. In terms of the LSK team, Del Piero has come into the lineup tonight in place of Tristan, who drops to the bench, and Gianna Cheddar makes his debut in place of Kaluzhny, who drops out of the squad. As for Fulchester, they're still without David Beckham, Vialli suspended as well. And an interesting change in attack. Romario comes in for Anelka, who drops from the squad completely. Chris Sutton goes to the bench. Okan continues in place of Beckham, while Materazzi comes in for the suspended Vialli. So, huge game at the bottom of the table. Throw your predictions in, please, to the chat. Ian, for the first time tonight, what are you thinking for this huge one at the bottom of the table?
Sadly for Mark, I'm going to say a home win. I mean, I had an in-depth discussion with Mark at the start of the season. I thought he should have played a certain formation, but he lost a few games and he maybe got a bit jittery and he's changed it up. I still think if he'd stuck, he'd maybe be a bit higher up the table, but who knows? Mark probably knows a lot more about the game than me. I mean, but if it was me, I would have stuck with a certain formation. I thought he had the players right for that formation, but again, it is what it is. Whoever takes Fulchester next season has got a good team, a good base team to work with, I think. So a good top 6 squad, in my opinion.
Well, Ronaldo's wasted no time in trying to avoid danger, but Pizarro levels things up. Frey was left completely stranded by his defence, and these two teams look like they are going to go at this game at some pace. Already. I mean, it was already 1-1 before Smuts' prediction of 0-0 came through the chat. That's how quick it was out the blocks. Approaching half-time, and LSK nearly take the lead, but it goes horribly wrong. Fulchester certainly started quickest. LSK looked like they ended the half strongest, but an exciting first half. And LSK, as the home side, trying to take the advantage. They've created double the amount of chances, but have had the same amount on target as their visitors. Pass completion exactly the same. Tackles won, Fulchester might be slightly worried about. Less than half their tackles being won. Headers exactly 50-50. Looking at the ratings, starting with the home team, everyone rating 7 or above, apart from Van Bronckhorst and Agat, which surprised me because they're normally two of the more influential players in that LSK team. There's no yellow cards being given to their side and no conditional issues. While looking at Fulchester, and I've seen Macca's join the chat. Evening, Macca. Hope you're well, buddy. Frey throwing in a 5 at the moment. There's a few 6s started for the rating's not quite as generous to the away team, but equally no yellow cards. Fitness-wise, it looks like Ronaldo's dropped down to 80. You've also got Donny on 85, so maybe some decisions to be made for Macca. While we wait to see what the managers decide, Ian, what did you make of the first half?
It was a good half, mate. It was good. 2 pretty evenly matched teams, I think. 3 on the 5 is just, it kind of sums up the whole thing, doesn't it? It's just horrible to see. Like now, personally, I'd probably hook them. Just because I think Fulchester, they look like there's more than fucking capable of getting something here. I think Pizarro scoring straight away, good sign for Jamie. It's always a good time to score instantly. So again, it's set up fucking nicely. Fulchester didn't look okay to me for being away from home. I thought they were right in the match. So it's set up nicely. But again, 3-5 might play a big part in this game.
Mac is saying there's no point with keepers. He's cursed.
No, been there.
I think we've all been there at times, and those of us who've had Frey more than once have been there more than once as well. He could be the best on the game. He could be the absolute fucking worst on the game at times.
Yeah, absolutely can. I mean, it's just a case of finding somebody that's steady for keepers. That's all, because it's just the worst fucking position in the game to fill, isn't it? We all know it's fucking horrible.
It absolutely is. Nothing through from Jamie yet, so we'll continue on and let him make any changes at 60 if he joins the chat. Not been around for the last few shows, actually, as Jamie, which is a shame. But they take the lead through Del Piero, and huge goal this at the bottom of the table. and it's also a managerial masterstroke on his part as he returns to the starting 11. Nobody now, with the exception of a GAT rating below a 7, still no yellow cards for Jamie to worry about. And fitness-wise, still absolutely nothing for him to worry about either. And now, of course, he's in the lead. As for Fulchester, Frey continues to be on a 5. Still 6s littered throughout, including key personnel like Lucio. No yellow cards still. A very friendly game this. Ronaldo dropping to 76%. And I could see already before this had even come up, Maka made a decision. Sutton for Ronaldo. Pushing up top with Robin Central.
That's the thing I've said to him. I don't like Robin Central. I know he can play it, but for me, he's at ML. He should always play there. I've heard this. I don't know about how what other folk think, but for me, he's definitely a left midfielder all day long. And that's just where I'd be playing him. But no, Marco, see, and that's another thing. See, when you're running to do subs, it can make a fucking shitload of a difference. And again, when I've missed a few, I really regret it because you feel you can make a wee impact. So it does definitely pay to be around for the subs anyway. I'll say that much.
Definitely. Martin suggesting Maka's time is better spent at raging against the downfall of society.
That's true. We're going to hopefully that continues after he leaves because I love that. I do.
Still nothing from Jamie, so we will persevere through to the end of this one. Maka said his Twitter's been suspended after this season. 69 on the clock, still 2-1 to the home side. Yellow card given out to Richie Wellens. Into the final 5 minutes, 3 minutes being added on.
Here we go, Sutton, Chris Sutton, boom, Sutton.
And there's the full-time whistle. And LSK pick up the huge win over their bottom of the table rivals. And will that give them the impetus to not finish bottom? It was a fairly even game. The home side just about edging it, I would say. A draw wouldn't have been too uneven, I would say. Looking at the ratings, Maldini there rating a 9, Del Piero also a 9, getting man of the match. The 11 put out by Jamie doing the job for him tonight. Fulchester, it's kind of like Maka says in the chat, Frey Clangers. If that 5 is a 7 or 8, then I think it's a different game.
I totally agree, mate. As I say, I probably would have hooked him, but whether it would have made a difference or not, who fucking knows? But it wasn't fucking overran. I mean, again, it probably is that's made the difference. I mean, again, there wasn't much in it, but as you said, it's a big win for Jamie. Hey, Maka, I'm wanting him to fucking pick up a few wins before the season goes because to go in a bit of whimpers, it's not good for the man. He's been an absolute legend in the league and he will be missed. And I hope that he comes back one day in some sort of capacity. Pardon me.
Sorry. No, completely agree. And I told him as much when he confirmed that he definitely wasn't reversing his decision. That for me personally, it's a huge shame because he, since his involvement in the Super League all those years ago, has definitely been one of my all-time favourite characters within the concept. Next, we're going to Stanley versus Vikings. Now, this is massive. We've got 4th. We've got the team that are essentially this is the fairy tale team, I would say. Stanley at the start of the season, most people predicted to finish bottom. Mike proving what he's more than capable of doing with this team. And again, I'll point out, of all the teams in and around this top 6, it is the least fancy team of misfits that you have seen assembled. But he is doing a marvellous job. And they host the league leaders Vikings. Any result for Stanley here could be absolutely massive. And this is how they line up. It is unchanged from memory, completely unchanged, including the suspension. Yes, they were one of the few teams that made 0 changes at all from their last game, which was, of course, the 1-0 win over yourselves. What have you made of? I know you said that Ross, after the start he made to where he is now, is your early contender for manager of the season, but Mike's got to be in the conversation as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I say that I sort of mentioned Mike in the same breath as when I was saying about Ross. He's had a great season. I know he's been around a wee while and assistant roles and stuff, but I think now what it is, he's got players that he knows can do a job, and whatever with the formation that he's using. I mean, it's no fancied names, but they're solid players, and he's obviously got a system there. And when you've got Shigalko up front, I mean, it's half the battle, let's say. But no, he's done fantastically well. They just beat us deservedly. So I know we've got a couple of guys sent off, but no, he's slowly but surely turned himself into a proper Super League manager. And again, you didn't like facing him. I mean, you know it's going to be a game. There was a spell there. It was fucking horrifically unlucky. I remember he was getting guys sent off, and it wasn't going for him at all. And Ken, I know we seemed a bit disheartened for what I gather, but no, he's fully deserved that. His luck's changed, and now he's an established Super League manager. But whether he stays or not, I don't know. But again, with the team he's got, he's doing exceptionally well, and I certainly wouldn't fancy facing him in the playoffs if he does make it. But no, big credit to him. He's done a fantastic job.
Well, to answer your question, I can confirm that, as far as I understand it, the latest from all the managers is there's one manager still to hear from, but every manager said they're staying except Maka. So at best, there is one, possibly two, but with the one that I'm waiting to hear from, I imagine it will just remain one position available for next season.
Okay, that's good. And then again, the save's rolling on, so he's got the same team to work with, and a bit of continuity. But what I will say is, if he's not made any changes whatsoever, pardon me, not even subs or that, sometimes for me, it's maybe just a superstitious thing, but I always like to make one slight alteration, whether it be somebody on the bench. But sometimes I think rolling exactly the same can be a wee bit iffy, and especially when you're playing somebody like Vikings, who we're going to go into him shortly, I think, but he's had a fantastic season there. That'd be the only criticism I'd say, maybe change something on the bench, but whether it makes a difference or not is fucking highly debatable.
Well, one team who aren't able at the moment from one game to the next to keep the same are the league leaders. They are tonight without Cafu through injury, CC and Jeremy's injured, which means they line up like this. Yepes comes into the defence to partner Ferdinand, who swaps sides. Kaladze and Paredes in defensive midfield. Sikoviak is playing behind Henri, and Patsazoglu out on the right-hand side. So still a strong team, but no denying that the players they're missing are definite starters in this 11.
Definitely. And the thing about this team for me, I mean, if you were to say, like, start the season, a team that would be like fucking Miles, kind of like we're doing as well as Vikings are, it wouldn't have been Vikings. I mean, Thierry Henry's been a bit of a revelation. I know he's got good fucking wing backs and that, and a good midfield, but just that his defence was maybe a bit iffy. But Rio Ferdinand, for me, I mean, he had a few, in fact, I think it was that Gazelles were dug and destroyed every fucking centre half in the game, but Ferdinand's top drawer. I mean, he was my captain for a time. He's fucking outstanding. I mean, fucking didn't rate him in Super League anyway. It's nonsense. He's proven he's a good fucking player. To bring Yepes in is not bad. And his midfield good. Kovac has done okay. I mean, after his debut with Duggan and that. But no, I mean, it's a solid side, and he's proven that he's fucking flying. So, I mean, they're definitely going to be in the grand final for me. That's nailed on. But we'll wait and see. This is a really mouth-watering game. I'm going to say a draw here, but I'm looking forward to this one, mate.
Yes, I am too. Let's kick it off. Throw some predictions in the chat for how you guys think this one's going to go. But yes, fourth entertaining first. And definitely with more than a hint that fourth could upset first as well. If they don't, it entertains everyone else in the top six. If it does, people will really start to take Stanley seriously, even with the absentees that the Vikings have at the moment. Looks like it's fairly even. Vikings seem plenty of the ball just at this moment in time. Failing to convert any serious chances, though. There's going to be 4 minutes added on to the end of the half. One just over the bar. Balmer goes in the book. And there's the half-time whistle. I mean, it couldn't look much more even if they tried. Both had 3 attempts on goal. Both had 2 on targets. Pass completion within 5% of each other. Tackles 1. Both over 50%. Vikings 6% higher at 60%. And Stanley just winning stuff in the air. Alex has thrown in a 0-2 prediction. And Mike just saying simply, "Oh, Jens, this is tight." It's very nervy times in the Super League. Looking at the home side stats first, literally all 6s and 7s, with the exception of Candea, who has been a revelation since he came to Stanley, really. That deal, swapping Candea for Roberto Carlos, has done both teams wonders. He always seems to be Stanley's best player. The yellow cards for Sand and Davids of note, and fitness-wise, I can see that Salihamidzic has dropped to 84, which may be a consideration. As for the away team, not too dissimilar. One player on an 8, and that is the incoming Yepes. He's been very good. 2 yellow cards as well, Patsazoglu and for Baumer, so the wide players for Vikings on yellows. Conditionally, nothing really too alarming for Jens to worry about. Mike has gone as is till 60. What did you make of the first half, Iain?
Good half, tight half. 2 teams. Two good teams. I think if you were going to ask Jens, I think he'd probably take a point here, honest way. And I don't know if Mike's obviously at home, but again, I don't think he would turn his nose up at a draw here as well, because it's two good sides and on good form. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a winner. But it's tight again. It's tight as a proverbial lunch chuff. Or Jens making changes. Interesting.
Patsazoglu off, Brozek on, swapping positions with Sokoviak, and Mike, as we said, not doing anything. So let's see if Jens rolling the dice first will have an impact on the game. Nothing happened in the first 10 minutes of the half. As we reach the hour mark, Yepes goes in the book, and that's the only action of note. Edgar David's rating has dropped to a 5. Mike's saying that Brozek's a bit of a kryptonite. Smuts is asking for any tips at Cheltenham next week. I think it's this week, isn't it, Cheltenham? This coming week? Starting tomorrow? But yeah, David's dropping to a 5. No extra yellow cards. Salihamidzic dropped to 79%. Looking at that bench, we know Robbie Savage is a favourite of Mike's. Mido is a favourite of mine. Phil Neville's a perfectly good player to have around the squad. Would you be making changes?
Well, I think going on his last game, this is where Mike, well, I know there was red cards came into play, but this is where I believe, did he go 2 up top or something? He done something and ended up winning the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mido comes on here. Does he need that many in the centre of midfield? Maybe sacrifice maybe Davids even, and go with 2 up with 1 behind, something like that. Again, though, it's top of the league Vikings. Do you just settle for the point? I know I probably would, but again, it's a win here, it would be absolutely massive in the playoff race.
Alf with a wonderful dad joke, by the way.
What's this?
He's put, "Get on pullover. It's a fine jumper."
Brilliant, Alf. Brilliant. Superb.
This is the content we all log in on a Sunday for.
It really is. And also, for those not privy to his OAP lunches and breakfast, that's a highlight normally when he fires up from Israel.
Does love a good cafe, doesn't he? I does, Alf. Looking at Vikings, Yepes has gone in the book. That's the only addition disciplinary-wise. No real concerns from a fitness perspective looking at that. Ratings slightly improving from where they were, but not a great deal. While Jens makes his decision, Mike has acted. Let's have our roll, he says. Sador for Savage, only in the Super League would that happen. Savage to AMC, Pinto off for Mido, and Mido up top. So I'm presuming we're looking. He doesn't do arrows. I'm presuming, Mike, we're doing something that looks a bit like this.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it's done against us. I think something similar to that, anyway, and it worked. So we'll see. But no, I like that. It's kind of what I alluded to. I mean, you love Mido, didn't you, Fyfie? I mean, how did it actually do well for you? Was it just a cult thing, or did it actually do reasonably well?
He did. His average rating didn't reflect his. I mean, obviously it does, but it didn't seem to reflect his performances. He was mainly used as a sub or as like Kuhl's understudy. But of course, whenever when you've got the story behind the Devils and the Dragons as it was at the time, and Mido scores in the grand final, he goes down as a cult hero regardless.
Absolutely. I mean, there's players, same for me as well, there's players that I would just take, even if they're not good, like Casas, for example. I don't ever score, but I love him, and I'll always take him if he's available. Guys like that, and even if they're not too good, kind of amazing players, that sometimes you just get attached to guys. Well, there's big changes here. I'm liking this.
Both managers deciding there's no, to quote Mike, there's no honour playing for a draw, so they're both going on it.
I like that. That's amazing. To be fair, that's good. I mean, you could sit back and again, sometimes more times than not, stuff like this will pay off. I went a bit defensive the other night. I kind of wish I'd went one at the back against Stanley when I went down to 9 men, but you know what I mean. I never. So again, as Duggan was alluding to, it's all about these decisions and making the right one when you need to. Big 30 minutes here.
Huge for the entire league.
Indeed.
And for these two managers.
It really is. I have to say, I shout out to Jens for his season he's having so far. I mean, he's been around for a while, and he's had a lot of downs, not so many ups. I know he's a consistent playoff kind of regular, but this is a big season for him, and I think for the
would you without wishing to put the pressure on, would you say it's now or never for Jens?
Well, he's not going to have a better chance, put it that way. I think, because normally there's two teams like really going toe for toe, and at the minute he's kind of on his own up there. I'd say first probably sewn up for him, so he's probably not going to get a better chance in that regard, Fyfie. So to answer your question, I'd probably say aye, to an extent, aye. I mean, he's, again, as I was saying, his squad isn't like full of superstars. I mean, I think there's better squads in the league, but it just seems to, this looks like a good draw, but aye, this is probably his best chance at it.
A very good game, that. Two teams at their very best, two managers who both played for the win. They certainly weren't resting on their laurels. And I think that's a good point for both teams, but also a good point for the rest of the league. Keeps it very, very interesting. And even, I know I said at the start, if Stanley get the result, people will really start to take notice now. I think looking at that performance, people really do need to take Stanley seriously if they're not already.
Absolutely, man. I think they have been, to be fair. I know I was. I know he was quietly going about his business. He's always been a sort of a manager who he's not going to fucking go out and like do something mental and look. You know what I mean? He's always method to his tactical stuff and that. I mean, he seems quite an astute manager. His transfers, he buys players who he knows can do a job, but he knows them. So I've always took him as a threat, and this season in particular, he's shown that with a bit of time, he's, as I say, he's turned into a good Super League manager. But no, they're right in the playoff mix, and that's a good point. Again, I think both of them will be relatively happy, but if other teams' managers can take advantage of that, it could be massive.
Duggan said he remembers when Jens' side was arguably robbed of a star to go into a final without Cannavaro and Klompe. Different result if they'd played. That was harsh.
What was that? Was that the season that's going to be mentioned or something? Is it?
No, that was that would have been season. I want to say season 13, maybe.
What are we talking about? Players being injured for finals? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. He had his entire centre back partnership missing.
That's by the by, mate. I've had players fucking missing for finals and stuff. You can't really, you can make, but I think that's what your squad's for. So again, not really too thing with me. Obviously, I think I've had players missing for grand finals, Cannavaro and stuff, but. Aye, that's what a squad's for. So, but I get his point. But
we've a couple of managers asking to go late with ill children. We're going to one where both managers are in the chat. Sancte hosting Sloss. Big game. This 7th versus 9th. Both potentially a win away from being in the top 6. So massive game. You already spoke about it, but Duggan has reacted to his recent form, and he's gone for the Sancte change-up formation. So he's dropped the wingers with 3 DMs, and he's gone for wing backs with 2 centre midfielders and 2 in support of 1. Michael Owen dropping to the bench. Jens pointing out I had to play John Curtis in the Super League final.
No, but I like Curtis. I know he's no hungry, but he's all right. He's maybe not a Super League player, but no, he's a decent defender. Home save anyway. Duggan changing this up. I like it, but the only thing I will say about this is the game maybe something doesn't like a massive change halfway through a season. You know what I mean? Again, you should normally have one or 2 formations you're going to use for the whole season. Whether the game likes it, we'll find out.
We're now over at Sloths, who have called up Lars Ricken from the reserves to feature in this one. A couple of changes in the team. So Ricken comes in, Luis Enrique comes in as well. A lot of what happens to Sloths here, and I'm trying to think back, and I'm sure Doug will correct me. I'm sure Sancte were right at the beginning of this mental run that Sloths have been on. I'm sure they were like first or second in this run that Al's been on. It's been absolute chaos. So interesting to see what happens here. But yes, so we've got Ricken and Luis Enrique coming in, and but a lot of what they do rests on how good Ronnie Johnson is.
Just listening to that statement's fucking wild, isn't it? You'd only get that in the fucking Super League, man. Again, it's the team. It's not a fucking top draw team, but the tactical tweak. This was fucking. You remember better than me, Thiago. He played the same formation.
Still chat to Thiago on a normally monthly basis.
Yeah, big shout out. But he played the same formation for like years and narrow, and it worked to the varying degrees of success. But then Andy came in at Valen and fucking absolutely blew everybody.
The pineapple formation.
He did, but then it sort of didn't work in Alpha at Monaro. So again, sometimes formations seem to come in waves. I mean, the period will be successful, not successful. Like the 3 DMs, is that maybe has that had its time? But again, so far the narrow has been effective, and you've got a huge credit to them for doing it.
Score prediction then for this massive game for the teams chasing the top 6.
I'm going to say a Desmond.
Okay. Interesting. I think I tipped Sancte to win by 1 in Swan's Super 7, but Sloths again. And Lars Ricken's involved in it. The first team lasted exactly 13 minutes. I'm going to presume Rosicki's coming in. I'll wait for Alf to confirm. Duggan has confirmed it was a 3-0 defeat earlier in the season. I want to say it was Alf's first or second game since he took over from Rob. But yeah, it's just mental.
I think it was. You have to give Martin some credit for the. I don't know who had the final say or who was the gave the nod for the narrow, but you've got to give credit. It seems to coincide with Martin coming in. I think obviously Alf's the man, but maybe a wee hat tip to Martin there. Luis Enrique is somebody I would fucking no interest in. Would not have him in a fucking side, but it is Super League again. Mental.
Enrique had one really good season. I want to say it was at Fulchester, where he was getting numbers for days.
Aye, but you'll find some Marker's money who does get fucking numbers on fancy players. But no, for me, this has been quite comfortable for Sloths, and I wouldn't.
I was going to say it's looked good for Sloths, yeah. And now Harry Kuehl's gone off injured.
That's a big one for Duggan.
That's huge.
It really is, man. Just at this time of the season, he's going to be praying that's not a big one there. Because I know he's had a wee bit of a fucking bad injury crisis, which
and to be fair, I don't know if it's just because we've had a spat of them recently, but there seems to have been a lot more 1 month, 2 month, 3 month injuries this time round as well.
That does. I mean, I know. Roxy XL's had who was it missing for fucking ages? Who was it again? It was a big player. Who was it? Was it fucking Anelka? He had Anelka at the start of the season for a while, and I mean, when it's big players like that, it's obviously going to have an effect on the team. But it's no what fucking Duggan will be what to see anyway.
No, just for clarity, because I know someone will pull me up for it. The only reason I've done the tactic change is because we're at halftime as well. Normally we wouldn't do that, but literally nothing else was going to happen. It has been an entertaining game. Sancte just edging it on chances. But pass completion similar. Tackles won. Alf will be disappointed with a 42. But headers won. They are shading the aerial battle. Sancte have lost a big player in Kuhl. Michael Owen's come on and they've gone 2 up top with back central. Do you see them doing anything else at half time? I mean, Ndai on the yellow card, you'd probably trust him. For those who have a theory about this, Kuhl being on 4% is not looking good. Conditional-wise for the players still on the pitch, though, no real concerns. Duggan saying just extend the arrows on the wing backs, no problem. And that's all he wants to do.
Just looking at that Sancte squad, that's a team I really like. I mean, Archie back and that's fucking massive. Anyway, didn't he set the header light at Fulchester? But it's a good side. I mean, even though he's got the injuries, he's got decent players to come in. He's built a reasonable squad there, Duggan. So again, it's a team who should be challenging for the playoffs. So let's put it that way.
It looks quite average for Sloss, but Alf's quite happy with the scoreline and is going as is till 60.
Good stuff.
The action.
An early goal here for Sancte would be big. But it's not looking.
A second goal for Sloss would be huge.
It would, and it's looking more like that. But this is, see, when you get it always happens to me when I've got a bit. It seems to be me having more of the ball, the away team, and I don't take advantage. I always lose a fucking goal straight after. But this is more Sloss to me. It's at 60.
Just waiting for the ball to go out of play. There it is. Evening Greavesy, who's joined the chat.
Oh, how are you doing?
Hope you're well, pal.
Good to see you, Peter. Oh, good to...
Oliver Kahn, rating a 9. Doing well. And as you said, it did look like Sloths had the better of the second half, as well as they did the... And Dye still the only player in the book, conditional-wise. No real issues at all. Does Stam come on? What would that offer? They're losing, so it doesn't really help.
I think.
Does Gallardo help them at all? Does it improve what they've got on the pitch?
I think he pushes the wing backs up, moves Archie back up into the 3 up top. But that's what I'd be looking at doing. Sloss probably says.
Battle of the goalkeepers tonight. Alephopoulos also on a 9. Taribo West, the only player in the book. And again, no real conditional issues for Alf to worry about. They've got Addo on the bench if they want to shore it up, or they've got Smith on the bench if they want to freshen things up.
I think it'll be an as-is for Alf. Good away performance. They're on the ball, and as you've said before, it's been fucking ridiculous. So I think back 3 up top. I'm just saying half diag makes sense. That's probably what probably something a bit along the lines I would do done. But it's a bit Duggan. He needs to get something here but if this is going to be 5 unbeaten or 5 without a win, that's, as we were looking at before, that's no good form going into this crucial stage of the season. So he needs something here. He really does.
And Alf is just freshening up the front line with Alan Smith coming on for Trezeguet.
Fair dues. I mean, his team is it's not a good team, man. Like, it really isn't. But Alf, again, he's a wily old fox, as everybody likes to call him. But what's this? What's the
Greavesy says 3 years ago, Loco shocked the world. Fun times. Hope you're all well. Iain, how haven't you got a deadly STD yet?
Mate, I've been behaving myself, Greavesy. So you never know. There's still plenty of time, mate. Still plenty of time for that. It's good.
Martin says, not a good team. How fucking dare you?
Not a good team. Outstanding backroom staff. But no, it's good to see you, Greaves. I'm glad you're well, mate. Glad you're doing well, man.
And Sloths have picked up a major 3 points here.
That really is. That is a massive win. I mean,
and when the final reckoning comes, it also means they've picked up 6 points off Sancte this season.
Well, they'll probably be the only ones to do that. But now I think Duggan is going to be worrying. I mean, he's changed the formation there. Does he go back? This has left him a huge conundrum. I mean, they weren't terrible, but I think Sloss pretty much dominated that. I mean, the headers won. And for me, they never looked like losing Sloss. Just with the text, I mean, you get that feel for the game. They didn't look like losing. I think Alf and Mark's going to be absolutely fucking delighted. But again, Duggan has left him with a few questions now. again, it's getting to that key bit of the season. He's going to be a wee bit concerned.
Duggan's saying, absolutely horrific. Don't deserve to be anywhere near the playoffs, getting beat home and away by that Sloth side. Credit to you, Alf. No form, no luck, no goals. Martin saying, not enough people talking about Alephropoulos.
That's true.
Been an absolute wall this season.
I think that Duggan's a wee bit harsh there. I mean, there's certainly other teams that's going to get beat by Sloth. Sloths have been outstanding. That formation just came in and blown folk away. So, Sancti have had a reasonable season. They've got a really good side. It's a playoff side, so I think he's been a wee bit harsher. He's not out of by any means. He's fucking still right in the mix. I mean, he needs to just decide on that formation. I mean, what's got him to where he is, I think he needs to have a wee, just sit back, have a wee mull over it. He's got a fantastic side, and he's certainly not to play for him by any stretch.
Next up, we're going to Exiles versus Stackington. Exiles, despite losing 1-0 at home to East Coast, have gone as is for this fixture, which means they stick with this three up top. They've got Vieri continuing to be spoken about in the media. And they go against your early contender for manager of the season, who make a slight tweak. Rui Costa comes in attacking midfield. Morientes drops to the bench, with Kesman dropping out entirely. Yep.
In regards to Excels, that Vieri for Verondale, that's going to probably be it is the biggest regret in my transfer dealings in the league ever, to be honest with you. It's a big fucking boo-boo on my part. So Veron will be available next season if guys are still interested in doing deals with us. I mean, Veron will be available. It was not a good deal on my part. I just wanted to try Veron as I'd never done before. But back to Stackington, Mendieta is one I've always had a wee sniff about. Same with Dyer, but Ross is obviously having fucking none of it, quite rightly so. But that wing-back formation, it's working. I mean, this is another going to be a really good game. It's going to the battle of wing-backs against non-wing-backs, and Old Rocks fucking hates them. And so, it's going to be a good game. I'm going to see an Excels win here and Vieira goal.
Okay. Greaves is saying, I like this Stackington side. Do you know what? This Stackington side does reek of Greavesy, to be fair.
It does. It is a sort of Greavesy side. But I could see that actually. But no. But when Greavesy endorses you, that's a pretty good endorsement. So he should be pretty happy with that fucking Roscoe.
Absolutely. Not many have done what Greavesy has achieved during his time in the Super League.
Absolutely.
11 minutes in, Stackington have had the most impressive chance so far, but Exiles playing their way back into it. He's saying, Perry, fantastic. Mental Steve will tell you. Asensio injured for now the second time this season. He did coincide with an upturn in form for Stackington. So this, again, similar to the Cure one earlier, could be a big loss.
It is, and it lets us see what guys' squads are like. I know sometimes the normal, you can either go for a good 1 to 11 or a good squad. I normally tend to have a couple of players that can play in each position, but I mean sometimes you can't do that. So again, I didn't think that's a bad fucking replacement to bring in. It's good Emerson, isn't it? So it's not too bad.
No, it's the DM Emerson, not the MC Emerson.
The shit Emerson, he's still decent. I mean, look at
the shit Emerson is actually still not bad.
He's actually pretty good, mate. Hi, that's not too bad. So no, that's still a reasonable replacement. He's looking pretty good there, to be fair.
Approaching half-time, still 0-0, and we actually get to half-time. So let's see. I mean, this has been the least exciting of the games, more of a chess match.
It has. It's too kind of. I mean, I know Rock's fucking pre-season was going for fucking. I'm going to be involved in the most goals, but it seems to be one of the more kind of defense. Well, there's never a lot of goals in the games that I've can remember them. It's a fucking Rock side, isn't it? I mean, if he could, I'm sure he would take another few players for Haggis, which no doubt he will. But no, it's a Rock side. He's always going to fucking do mental shit. Charlie Chaos is one. I mean, again, that's a player probably I should have kept the whole day because he can play in multiple positions, which I like. But I agree, this type of game, as I said. But no, again, would each manager take a draw here? Probably. Is it handy for them? Not. Is it handy for everybody else? Absolutely. So I'll draw here with the rest of the league. I'm sure we'll be fucking cheering for.
Looking at, I mean, they're all talking about Chris Perry, so let's just show Chris Perry for a moment.
Steve will be getting a wee twitch down below, a wee Samuel, and having a look at him. Class player, to be fair. He says he's a good defender. Absolute home safe fucking hero. But aye, Shea Given, a big shout out to Shea Given coming in. Ex Midlothian, Haggis, whatever have you. One of the more solid keepers. You know, your partner pairing is Neil Scally. Aye, it's one of Martin's.
Martin loves Neil Scally.
He does. As is for Ross, understandably here.
Yeah, not seeing anything from Rock, so we'll continue on to 60. Let's see if this chess match continues.
I think a goal could win this. One goal.
Well, the first chance of the half went to Exiles. Now Stackett has come. And Stackett has scored. It's Sand, who'd done absolutely nothing in the first half, had hardly seen the ball at all, but all he needs is one chance. And he's going through one of them spells again, where he just reminds people that once he gets one, he gets a few.
Well, that's as I was saying, one goal pro decide. I mean, the thing with this, when you're going like three up top and balls out like this, there's not much else you can do in an attacking sense, like maybe extend the arrows or. I didn't like three up top anyway. I prefer two, one behind two. But the front three is ridiculous for fucking for Excel. But again, Ross grinding out results here. This would be a fucking huge one for him, I have to say. So I don't know if he'll be doing too much here, wouldn't he? But,
possibly looking at Amoroso's 79% fitness and giving that a consideration. But other than that, everything looks perfectly fine from a Stackington perspective.
Absolutely, and again, just going about his business. It's been a fantastic season. If he's in his debut season, no many managers have made the playoffs in their debut season. Just trying to cast my mind back to anybody that can think it's done that. I'm actually managed at Fyfie. Oh, there he is, though. The biggest regret I've had ever. Honestly, fucking gutted. To be fair,
that's given Exiles real impetus here as Crespo goes close next.
As with that front three, and it's possible Zambrotta as well. Ridiculous side they've got there.
Shea Given pulling off save after save at the moment.
Signing the season candidate has to be up there. A draw here would be lovely.
And he saved it again.
A draw here would suit, I have to say. A draw would suit.
I know some managers don't like it when I slow it down in the last 10 minutes, but this is why I like this. You can really see who's putting in the performances. Mendieta, always saved.
It's good when it's not your team involved. I'll say that.
We're into injury time.
Next goal, oh my God.
Mendieta saved. Amoroso. Oh, he's done it. He's done it. Oh, it won't stand. Oh, no. Mendieta was offside.
Wow.
Exiles have been saved.
Oh my goodness. Gutted.
Wow.
That's a sickener. That is a fucking sickener.
Oh my God. There was late limbs and the referee has ruined it by saying that Mendieta was offside. So Ross said, I hate the slow time.
Complain about the ref and officials in that one anyway, but no. That was, that's gutting. Good for the rest of the league, though.
Alf just saying it's a cruel game.
Absolutely, man. Again, good for the rest of the league, but you'd be tough to say that Stackington probably deserved that. Amoroso on 79%. I mean, you could have hooked him, but again, his fitness a myth.
He was there to score the winner.
He was, but the winner it wasn't. But no.
The winner it wasn't.
The winner it wasn't. Probably a deserved result when you look at the stats and that, but for the rest of the league, ideal.
Another man of the match performance. Fucking hell, man. This guy should be nowhere near a Super League.
Well, that's it. It's all this intrinsic fucking hidden shit, isn't it? But he's see players that can play multiple positions, whoever they are really handy. And I like to have a couple of them on my side if possible.
Sammy Hippier with a 5. That's unlike him. Shay Given only rating an 8, despite the fact we saw him pull off a fair number of saves. And like you said, a decent point. Doesn't really help either. Helps the rest of the league. But they'd rather take the point than lose.
Well, that's it. I think XLs will probably be the happier just with the late goal getting disallowed and stuff. But again, as you say, it doesn't help either way. It keeps them in the race, but I think it gives them a bit something for other teams when they let me go for. I'm going to nip and get a drink of juice, Fyfie. It'll be 2 minutes, mate.
Yeah, no worries. While you do that, I will introduce Foss Road versus Dudley Hill. We're starting with the away team, who are without Woodgate, without Rustico, and without Terry. So they've had to change their centre-back partnership. Steve wanted Gamara and Southgate, but Southgate in the reserves was also injured. So he's been left with virtually no other choice but to play De Boer at centre-back. Everything else from memory remains the same in terms of the 11 and the subs bench. Hopefully you saw that. Steve, I did drop you a message about, where are we, 10 o'clock, about an hour and a half ago, just to let you know. I don't know if you saw it before we got to the game. But that is the Dudley Hill team for tonight. So interested to see how that centre-back partnership fares tonight. Lineup change. Well, to be fair to Steve, he doesn't know his reserves are injured when he's calling them up. Anyway, you're one to talk, sir, because you submitted 2 teams and then still changed it. Greasy says, Steve, what are you still playing that terrible keeper? Stuart's Inquiry, says Smuts, who, as I say, sent through 2 teams and then sent me an email to say, forget everything I've said, I'm doing a different one. He too has called up players in reserves. Cisse gets a run out next to Santa Cruz. Now, I actually rate Cisse on the game, but that in terms of Super League, that's got to be the least awe-inspiring strike force I've probably seen put out by anybody. Yes, yeah. Put it on your fucking tactic thing then, so I remember. Everything else, as you'd pretty much expect. Helguera partners Hoffland in defence and Gerard partnering Vieira at DM. Van der Vaart and Raquelme will either do something or do absolutely nothing.
Rocky Santa Cruz is an ex-Haggis.
Rocky Santa Cruz is awful.
Well, for backup, I mean, sometimes, I don't know if you look into his PA and his potential ability. I think he's maybe got high something or other, or he sometimes can or something. But Super League terms, you're right, he's been fucking shit. But again, sometimes you can find that when you're depleted and you bring in the random fucking players, they can pull out the bag. And this is a chance after the other guys drop points, a big chance for either of these to get right back in amongst the playoff hunt. More so Foss.
Yeah, definitely. Huge game for both of these teams. You fear whoever loses is out the race, but whoever wins, definitely in the conversation. As I kick off, can I ask you for a score prediction, please?
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say at least Dudley will score. I'm going to say 2-1 to Foss Road. Come back.
Foss Road. Greasy says, Cisse and Santa Cruz equals 0 goals.
Well...
Santa Cruz missing the latest opportunity. We're nearly at halftime already. And that early Dudley Hill goal is all we've got to show for the first half as the away side going at the break 1-0 up.
I think I'll maybe change my prediction, I think.
Alex saying, come on the Foss. Alex, what we'll have to do is next time we do something like foot golf, we'll drop you a note and come say hi to...
Who is Alex?
Alex, because you've not been on the last few live shows. Alex stumbled across us on Twitter and has been watching us for the last couple of weeks. It turns out he recognised the word Foss because he's also Leicestershire based. So obviously, I believe he's located somewhere between Smuts and me. Smuts say Clive injuries be the fucker.
Is that a future reference? That he's going to be located somewhere between Smuts. Is that I'm maybe being a bit filthy.
Nah, it's fine. It's well past the watershed, mate. But no one's getting between me and Smuts in that way. You'd have to go on one end.
Apart from Mrs. Smuts.
No, we don't talk about Mrs. Smuts, especially after Smuts himself actually named her in one of the in one of the Late Limbs episodes, and then had instant regret.
It'd have to be after school and that, obviously, for her if she's in school. But a pretty again, the front two is
front two fucking awful as expected.
I think it could be Esky time here. I think Esky could be making an appearance here, but that aside, pretty shit. He's got to do something. I think Vieira in there, Gerard. I mean, again, there's a few players there that are probably playing. Helguera as well is fucking good. I mean, that for me is crowned from a different formation, but Smuts knows a hell of a lot more about the game than me. But I'd certainly be making some changes. On the other hand, a really, really good half of Steve there. I think he'll be changing much, if at all. But here I'd be doing something, getting fucking. I'd probably be moving. So that the wee shitty arrows and that is okay for fucking home saves, not for the Super League, in my opinion. The wee silly diddly arrows doesn't work. Needs to get something AMC. Gerard's better in centre mid for me as well. But aye.
Okay. Well, Smuts has reacted with the Heskey for Cisse move. Just waiting for confirmation from Steve if he's going to do anything. There's no real areas of concern for him, especially being a goal up. But he is making a change.
I've just noticed he's playing Frank de Boer. Where the fuck did he come from?
Oh yeah, you went to get a drink. So all of Steve's centre backs are injured, including Gareth Southgate in the reserves. So De Boer was the only one left.
He can do a job. I mean, he can do a job there. But I know it was Ronald De Boer had a wee bit of fucking fancy for, but I didn't know.
That's why he signed Frank, because he's got Ronald.
All right, so you got
Frank's is out of league signing.
Right. All right. Okay. Makes sense. Ish. Frank De Boer doing class. Well, again, if it's guys like Simic for me, guys that come in and do their job, they're worth their weight in gold as well. You know what I mean? Solid defenders.
Well, let's see what the second half has to offer for these two sides.
No,
and it's Dudley coming forward again.
Goal now would be big for Hutt Frost.
Nothing's happened in the first 15 minutes or so.
He should push the wing backs on and match up, get somebody in AMC. Raquelme even AMC. Van der Vaart, is he good enough? In fact, Van der Vaart on his own. He's got Alex there. There's
possibly swap Gerard and Van der Vaart around. Move Raquelme up to AM and bring Alex on for Van der Vaart, maybe.
I'd definitely get I'd put Vieira can play in there on his own, so I'd be getting Gerard away from him. Put Vieira in there on his own. Definitely Gerard and even Gerard with Raquelme as you're right and Raquelme up, something like that. He's got options, which is a good sign for Smuts. I mean, he's got a decent squad. Steve's not going to do much here, I would imagine, unless there's some probably nothing. But there's definitely options there for Foss. So he's not at this. If he uses his napper, he can maybe get something here.
Yeah, no real drama at all here for Dudley. No discipline issues, no form issues, no conditional issues, and of course winning. So unsurprised to see him go as is. I imagine the fact I haven't heard from Smuts means there's a paragraph coming. So I'll get ready for that. Where are we? Sunday night. So the next game week 23 will be next. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. Game week 23 will be next, and that'll be Thursday night. So comms will be available. So if you'd like to follow in Ian's footsteps and be on comms on Thursday night, please do drop me a message for game week 23. It's promising to be a solid end to the season. And of course, I will be hoping by then to announce exactly how many managerial positions will be available come the new season, because I would have heard from all managers by then as well.
I've got to say, I've just got to say on that finally getting the future resolved. I think it's great news. Fantastic that you're staying on Fyfie, keeping doing what you're doing. I think that's amazing news, and just the league staying in the current format. I think that's the best option. I mean, I know there's other ventures kicking off and stuff, and that's great. I wish the guys all the best for that. But I think the Super League in the current format, I think that was always what's best, and I'm glad it's kind of resolved, and it's just going to continue and hopefully go from strength to strength. But for yourself, for coming in and rescuing it and stuff, I think you absolutely deserve fucking massive credit, and it's great to see you staying on and continuing. It's superb.
Well, the plan, to be completely honest, as I know we had a brief exchange in the DMs in the week, that I was all set to pretty much go. The only reason I agreed to 1 extra year really was for the benefit of mine, to actually, before he takes over, to actually get a chance to play, because he's never really had a fair chance to play.
Right.
But yeah, so hopefully, I'll be honest, it surprised me a little bit how overwhelming his proposal was compared to the others. But I'm glad that people are getting a version that they're happy to play, even if I think it's a bit more restricted. But as long as people are happy, that's the main thing, and hopefully it will bring forward more engagement from people, because they've had a vote, they've got to say what they wanted, and they're getting a version they want.
As well, guys have had a huge change of heart. I mean, I know I kind of blew that sort of.
Oh, what a big goal that is!
It really is. I can share another one as well here.
Oh, it's huge. Foss Road have thrown this away. They've completely imploded.
And this will help Steve's goal difference no end as well. Massive result here for Steve. It's a biggie. Again, it's at Foss Road or no. I mean, there's going to be twists and turns, but this is certainly a statement for Steve.
Well, there's the full-time whistle, and it is a statement. Foss Road didn't deserve anything from it. They've been absolutely destroyed.
Wow, it didn't seem that fucking dominant, but that's not a good result. I mean, I think he needs to get Vieira in there on his own, and if he's going to play Van der Vaart, he needs to have Gerrard or somebody beside him. I think that would probably work. But again, Vieira on his own in there, that's all he needs, and he needs to go a bit more attacking, because getting Gubb 3-0 home's no it.
We got Alex saying fucking Foss. We got Al saying big win, Steve. Absolutely railed. Alex asking what's going on. Steve, it wasn't unlucky. You absolutely wiped the floor with him. The reserved win for Dudley Hill, and Foss Road have picked the worst possible time to become shit again.
Well, that's it. Again, look, his squad's good. I mean, I just think formation-wise, he should be playing a different formation. I know he had his front two, and who's his normal starting front two? Is it normally? Kluivert, is it?
Kluivert's his normal striker, yeah.
Right, well, he gets him back, but again, Gerrard and MC with Vieira on his own in there, that's all he needs there. So he should, for me, if he's had, I like Van der Vaart, but Van der Vaart on the left, Gerrard on the right, and MC, and Vieira in behind. For me, that's I don't know, that would be the thing that I would do. But again, Smuts, I don't know if he's not entirely sure what he wants to do. I don't think anyway, but that's what I would do. But he needs to sort it out pronto. But looking at that, Steve's had a fucking big result there, especially with his two centre backs missing. So he's got to be delighted with that. And it's again, he took advantage of the other team's dropping points. Big win, Steve. Well done.
Yeah, and there's the difference. I mean, 9s for Robbie Keane, for Cosmin Contra, and also for Soroczynski. Steve's had players turn up for him where maybe Foss could be accused of just going through the motions.
Well, that's it. I mean, look, on paper, I mean, looking, you've got Vieira and there. Vieira's one. I mean, if Smuts has looked what, and if we swap, maybe we could do something with Veron and somebody else, maybe. But it's maybe something we could look at. But I just think there's a formation-wise, I think formation for me would be the issue before. So, because personnel-wise, we've certainly got a good team. I know how Clever missing, but personnel-wise and one shot and target at home, getting absolutely gubbed, isn't he good? So he needs to look at something anyway pronto.
Smuts has said, I've got no AMCs to play, else I would, to which I've instantly replied, you've got a squad of 40-odd players, so that's a you issue.
No, he's got Riquelme in there. He can maybe play in there. I know he's not ideal, but again, even if, I don't know, certainly that midfield trio would be, for me, would be Vieira, Van der Vaart, if he's adamant on playing him in Gerrard, but aye.
Penultimate game of the night, East Coast entertained Badgers. They are without Mendes, Zanetti, and Viduka still not fit to return either. So, in terms of team for today, yeah, it's just the one change as far as I can recall. Vrede coming in at centre-back. Everything else, I think, remained the same. I can't see anything else changing. So, yeah, just the one change for East Coast. Now, this is a big game as well, of course. We know the results in all these other games. So, East Coast, the team in 6th, they're the team that all of these teams are looking at first. They can, of course, apply the pressure to you and to an extent to Burn. Because, there's only a 4-point gap between them and Burn. But if we focus on Coast in 6th, they are playing the team in 2nd. So this is a massive result for those above the line. But having seen Sancte lose, having seen Sloths win, so we know that if Coast don't win tonight, they're out the top 6. And at this point in the season, you don't want to be dropping out. We've seen Stackington win as well, so they'll go above them if they don't win. Wait, Stackington win? No, Stackington drew. Sorry, I didn't think that sounded right. And even with the result we've just seen, Dudley Hill have gone within a point of them before they played. So defeat could be very, very costly for East Coast. So this is massive against a very, very tough opposition.
It is. It's a massive game. It's the same with ours. I mean, I think Dimble's been a wee bit. He's not these normal season. I would say he'd be happy with. I mean, I think he's been a wee bit disappointed to be losing games that he's been in. And that last time I think he won. I think it was kind of ironically cheering, saying he won a close game. But they've not been as good as I probably would have expected them to be this season. But I don't know whether that's because there's other managers and other teams have kind of shocked. But he's always capable of pulling something at the back here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won, especially being at home. I mean, he's still got a class side, and I think he'll probably be in the playoffs come game 26, to be honest.
Badgers welcome back Okoronkwo. They also welcome back Desai, which means they can go back to their kind of tried and tested. Zanoni goes back out to the right wing, and Roberts continues to partner Rossini up top. The interesting one for me, and I know Tato's one that says condition is a myth, Nicky Forenko being under 90%, but still keeping his starting place was a particular note of interest for myself. So massive game. And when you consider it's you versus Burn next, absolutely huge for those above and below the line. As I said, can I get a score prediction for the last time tonight from you, please?
I'm going to say, I mean, it's hard to look away from Badge, but I'm going to say a home win here, a narrow home win, a 1-0.
Okay. Simeone goes in the book early. Pile driving effort from Coast, but not converted. Coast are trying to kind of make a move on their opposition. Gets a few set pieces.
They need a goal.
CC Roberts gets his first goal for Badgers in this iteration, and what a time to score it. It seemed against the run of play to me, that as well. Huge moment. Oh, it's 2. Rossini has doubled the lead, and East Coast are in all sorts of trouble now.
They are. I mean, this is probably handier for us, if I'm honest, but those
stats don't represent what I've just watched at all.
No, I mean, the East Coast, I thought in the earlier stage of the game it was East Coast, but again, as I said kind of earlier, when you see you've got more of the ball and more of your text and you don't take advantage, this can happen, and they've just been sort of sucker punched there. But again, Badgers are always capable of keeper 5. I mean, I think that's probably done them there, but so the individual errors maybe doing East Coast there. Wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of change, but again, it's probably even at this.
They don't really have game changers on the bench, though. That's the problem for me.
No, it's probably more. I mean, Michelin, he's not really featured. I don't know if he's available. I mean, I think I maybe messaged them briefly, but I would take Michelin. In fact, I definitely would take Michelin because I've got plans for next season, and that. So he'd be one I'd be looking at. ZLS doing well, but again, keeper 5. That's probably what's fucked him, to be honest.
Klompe next to his more regular centre-back partner excelling at the back, and Rossini having a wonderful game at the other end of the pitch.
Just doing the business here, and only 6 doesn't really make any odds when you've got fucking guys like Klompe on a 9 and you're winning 2-0 at half time. Again, I think it's probably beyond East Coast even at this stage, just with the feeling of the game. Keeper on a 5, it's not going to get much better. Is he making changes one at the back? I like it. It's pretty much all he could do. Formation-wise, is he didn't have the personnel as you stated. I like that, but he's got to roll the dice. So aye.
Well, let's see how it plays out even for him.
An early goal could make things interesting, but he needs it now.
Oh, fuck me. All the time went by, and then ZZ Roberts makes it 3 before the game even pauses. This game's pretty much done, isn't it?
It's going to just be, unless he's going to maybe protect anybody's, that's a bit you're going to get there, I would imagine. Maybe D'Alessandro for Ferguson, I think that's probably what I'd be doing. And Michelini for Elias. I think that's what I would do, just to protect guys, because it's getting to the nitty-gritty end. Again, it's a decent result for us. But aye, Badgers picking up that wee bit form. I think they lost a couple. I think we beat them, and I think they're looking a bit tasty now. It has to be said.
100%. While we wait for Dimble, let's have a look what's going on. Everyone rating 7 or above, with the exception of Zanoni. Simeone's still the only player in the book. And the only sort of conditional is the one that we spoke about at the start. Zanoni now on 78%.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't make some changes here just to rest guys. So he's going as is, fair dues. But I'd probably be resting guys when being your 3-0 up with 15 to go, whatever.
Looks like Dimble's taking the same approach you said, where he's just resting players at this point.
I think you've got to definitely, for like when there's big players like Ferguson and that, because it can make a massive difference. Yellows and stuff, but in the playoffs anyway. But
and there's the full-time whistle. Badgers running out. I mean, in terms of attempts created, it was very similar. It's just East Coast were wildly erratic with their attempts tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty poor. I don't know what the keeper finished on, but I think that fucking done him, didn't it? It's
it dropped even further.
Definitely, and I could see it again. I always, if it's a 5, I mean, if it's like, if the game's away for you, it's kind of no point, but when it's like 1-0 and that, the keeper's having a honker, it can sometimes be worthwhile taking him off. But Tybee, I mean, Tybee's a good keeper, so a bad day.
He's been solid for him this year.
He has. He's a good goalie. I mean, but again, it's just the curse of the keepers. It can be the best keeper in the game, and they can have a stinker. But Rossini and that getting goals is pretty ominous for the rest of the league, I have to say. So Badgers just coming in that good form at the right time. So it's a good result for them.
And that sees us into the main event of the night, Northern Burn away at Haggis. Let's have a look at your opposition first. Keane suspended is the big news. So Drozdov comes in as he usually does. Turam available again, though, means he comes in for Marino. And that means that has Northern Burn lining up looking like this. As I mentioned earlier, Roberto Carlos has been, I mean, that doesn't look massive for the 4 games, but he has contributed massively since coming into this Northern Burn team.
I mean, I've not got a good record against Burn on the whole. And especially just when you showed me that home fucking stuff before the game. It's no fucking left me in a very good thing with.
Now, you were supposed to log on ahead of time to make your team changes. But now you're going to have to do it live.
Right, it's okay. This is going to end up being controversial. Can you put Kufrain for Samuel, please? So, apologies about this. It's just I'm using an iPhone. I fucking barely the keypad thing's fucked. So I was going to. It's just a nightmare. Perez, right midfield, please, for Jacques. Left midfield, Monterrubio, please. DMC Gomez, Guigu. And I was going to move Veron into MC if I'm allowed to do that, and take Guidi out for fucking Casas.
Like this?
No, Veron into MC, please.
Oh, sorry.
MC, that with Arrow and Casas for Guidi, and that was it. And the captain is Cannavaro, if that's possible. Thank you very much. First time for a friend. There we go. That'll do me, mate. Fuck it. Thank you.
Okay, well. Last game of the night is Iain versus Iain. I wish you both the very best of luck as we kick off the final game of this Super League game week.
No, I'm not looking forward to this. I can't believe our home format is appalling. So this is got Burn written all over it, sadly. It really has. Oh, Cass, that's useless bastard. Nah, I'm not too confident.
No, I can tell. 34 minutes on the clock.
We need a goal. We need a goal now. This is where, see, we've had a bit more text, but they're going to come and...
You've got the goal.
You need that
and
goal.
It's that goal. Oh, but Burn instantly equalise.
That's it. It's not looked great for us.
Half time, 1 apiece.
Good game, decent game for the neutral. A good game.
Burn have arguably been the more industrial side, should we say, but they're, again, another one of these sides who just aren't quite clicking at the top end of the pitch.
Well, that's it, but they're still picking up points and they're still right in it, so they're not being the usual Burn. But, fucking Del Vecchio. Can I go ready for Del Vecchio, please? And that'll do me. Fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
That's it, mate. Thank you.
Just for the benefit of Iain, he's already said as is, but here's your ratings and what's going on at halftime.
I think Iain's going to be happy again, but I thought we had a wee bit more text at the start, but you need to take advantage of it, man. You really do.
Well, 20 minutes gone. Nothing else has really happened. So how do you influence the game from here?
What's Monterrey on? What we got? Zenden. Pardon me. What do we do? We're gonna... What ratings? What's the ratings like, Fyfie? Sorry, mate. Fuck's sake, man. Can what am I going to go for here? Oh, jeez, peeps, it's not great, is it? Can I bring Tradsy on for Petkov, please?
Can indeed.
And a wee arrow on Veron up to Gwede, and that'll do me, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Over to One Eye Iain, as I often refer to him in this situation, who's already sent me in an as is again. He's quite content with how things are going. So just for your benefit, here's a look at what's happening.
See, that's the thing, but below par, I mean, they're on 6. Ortega on a 6, Montel on a 6, but that's just what Burn do. There's no... I can see them scoring, put it that way. It's unreal, man, how he could manage to grind it out. It really is.
A lot of text. We'll slow it down for the last 5 minutes. 4 minutes being added on.
Bottom of the fucking form. It's unreal, man. It's just no happening.
Carlos, Skulls. Still Skulls. Saved. They're on now on the counter-attack. Perez. Into injury time.
No again.
Free kick. Off the wall.
Again.
Corner kick.
No again.
Montero!
Oh, come on.
There's another corner.
Come on, man. No again.
And there's the final whistle. And it's Haggis 1, Northern Burn 1. You rode your luck there, sir.
We certainly did, but we're bottom of the form table. I mean, in the bigger picture, it's probably not the worst result, but I'd say we certainly got a bit lucky there. Good game, Iain. We're just no clicking. Cuenca 9. Look at that keeper, man. What the fucking stuff.
We've seen a lot of keepers cost their teams tonight. Yours has saved you.
It certainly has on more than one occasion, mate. He's been fucking outstanding, so has Cuenca. But again, we a few with the suspensions there and the injury, so we've been on a bit of a shitty run. So a point, probably take it and run, to be honest with you. With other teams dropping points around us, we're East Coast getting beat. It's probably not the worst result. But good game, Iain. Well done, mate.
So let's go to the classifieds then. We've had East Coast 0, Badgers 3, Exiles 1, Stackington 1, Foss Road 0, Dudley Hill 3, Haggis 1, Burn 1. LSK, the only home side to win tonight with a 2-1 win over Fulchester, which we'll see confirmed in a moment, has taken them off the bottom of the table. Sancte 0, Sloths 1, Stanley 0, Vikings 0. That leaves the league table looking like this. And it's a huge congratulations to Jens. He's the first Q confirmed. Been waiting for a little while. But there it is in all its glory. So Vikings with the Q first with 44. Badgers 4 behind on 40. Burn 5 behind on 35.
Look at that.
Stanley 1 behind that on 34. Then a 2-point gap to Haggis on 32. Sloths enter the top 6 on 31. Coast 30. Sancte 30. Exiles, Dudley, Stackington 29. Foss Road, you're starting to think they're out of it now on 26. That's a 5-point gap to the dotted line. LSK, finally, they've been bottom since game week 10, but they're finally off the bottom in 13th on 18 on goal difference from Fulchester. Martin saying 13 goals conceded. What the absolute fuck? So huge movement with 4 games left to go. A reminder of what we've got coming up on Thursday night. Badgers against Exiles, Dudley Hill, LSK, Fulchester Sancte, Burn East Coast. That game, by the way, is massive. Sloths Haggis is an unbelievably big game. Stackington Stanley, not a small game either. And then Vikings against Foss Road, probably the least engaging game of the entire game week.
I don't know. I looking at that, mate. Foss Road on the out of Benny stretch. They're only 3 points behind the guys in front of them and on that pack on 29. If he can get that formation sorted, I mean, he's got fucking Vieira in there, play him on his own. Couple of wins, I mean, that's what it takes. And what one team will fall away. It always happens. I mean, and there's like, it's ridiculous. I mean, down to fucking 11th, 12th, that they're still in the mix. It's fucking outstanding. It really is. It's crazy, man. So, and there's going to be injury suspensions coming to play. So it's just set up fucking, again, we say it every season. I know it's the best season, but that really is fucking tight.
I can't remember a season where there's so many teams still in it with 4 to go.
No,
this one's outrageous.
No, I mean, there's always teams that they could maybe win 2 or 3 and they're in, but the amount of teams on the same points is fucking insane. It really is. So it's set up fucking nicely, and it really is set up to be one of the closest fucking finishes to a season. It's outstanding, man, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we're just in there with the skin of our teeth, so we need to really be getting some form in the go now. Like,
yeah, it's such a shame for you. You've got so many home games left.
I know, man. I can't. That's a shock to be bottom of the home. I mean, we've always been historically a decent fucking home team, but bottom of the home form is wild. Like, I knew it was bad, but not that bad. So thankfully, it's an away game next. It's only against Sloth, so we'll see how it goes. But no, it really is set up fucking deliciously. It really is.
Well, all being well, packs will be out tomorrow, if not Tuesday. I will see you live here again at Cmsl on Thursday. Please do drop a message if you're interested in doing comms for what will be another critical night. Big thank you from me. Final words from you, Iain?
Just a big thank you to yourselves and everybody involved. It's nice to see guys are going to stick around and just keep it what it is a competitive league. It's I mean, look at the end of the season. It's you can't ask for better than that. I mean, it's what it's all about for me, really. I'm just looking forward to it, and hopefully next season it's going to continue to be that. So just a big thank you.
Thank you very much for your time tonight. Very much appreciated from myself, from Iain at Super League HQ. Till Thursday. Good night.
Adios.